Hello, my name is MrSpaml, and today, as you read in the title, I'm making a video that's a little different. I thought this is something a bit interesting to talk about. First off, I've got to get this out of the way. This video is not to hate on Unturned. Every game has its problems. I just want to talk about these things. Maybe these are some things that could be changed for 4. Most of these things are going to be changed for 4 or Unturned 2, whatever you want to call it. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you messing at? Just hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, and let's go ahead and get started. Starting off at number 10, this is the least serious thing. Not everyone hates this, it's just kind of meh, but I thought I'd put this on the list anyway. It's music. Unturned has a serious lack of music. I'm sure this isn't just me, but I absolutely hate the Unturned intro song it plays when you open it. I've got that stuff completely muted. I hate it. It's loud, it's annoying, it's repetitive. I don't like it at all, and it'd be really nice to have some actually good music for Unturned, just something that you can chill out to, that I actually would enjoy. It's just anything's better than that, to be honest, and especially something so repetitive. It's not good. At number 9 we have a classic, and that's just simply how long the game takes to load, especially with a ton of workshop content. Obviously this only really applies for hard drives, but if you don't have an Unturned on an SSD, it takes 3 to 7 years if you're lucky to open. So you got to be ready for that. Bunk down, get your tent, bring some marshmallows, I guess. What am I talking about, honestly? But you get what I mean. The load times are not class in Unturned. They're not very good. That's probably to do with the way that it checks for each little asset when you open it. There must be a better way of doing it. I've heard modders talk about it's badly optimized when you load, but it's fine, alright? It'd be nice that it didn't take as long as bloody GTA to open. That's all I'm trying to say. At number 8, this isn't too serious, but it is kind of annoying, especially on the larger maps like Russia, and that's just the amount of players that Unturned supports. At 24 officially, 48 it kind of supports. It's not very good, and when the maps get bigger, like I'm sure they will in Unturned 2, we're going to need to have way more player support. Obviously Nelson's already working on that, so it's not too bad, but in Unturned 3, I think at one point we've all been annoyed by the fact that all these servers are full. At number 7 we've got one that I think roleplay players, the only people who actually get annoyed by it, and that's just the complete lack of individual sound control. If a kid's screaming, I don't want to just mute him, I want to just turn him down, If he's way louder than everyone else, let me just turn him down, alright? I want a dial, just something, just individual control over these players is all I want. And then even on the opposite end, if someone's really quiet, let me boost them. Also, why does Unturned sound make everyone's mic sound terrible? When I made the Unturned live videos with Fuji, everyone was saying how different he sounds, but that's not me. That's just what Unturned does to mics. It's like putting a tin can over the top of your mic, just for no reason whatsoever. Just thinking about it, it's terrible, honestly. Seriously needs some work. Number 6, we've got one that people have kind of got used to, but it'd be lovely to have them changed, and that's just the zombies. They are slow, annoying, boring, and I don't think anyone really cares about them. They just sort of waddle in your general direction. There's nothing scary about them. They're not exciting. You can just smack them and hit S every now and then, and you can kill a whole horde of them on your own with a stick. They don't really offer any challenge to the game. That only comes from players. They're just sort of in your way, even when playing PvP. They're just in your way to get to the loot. They're just, I don't know. You know what I mean, though. They really need a lot of work. The zombies are not good in Unturned 3. At number 5, we have melee weapons. A few people have DM'd me about this, because in my Discord I asked people, what do they like, what don't they like, and melee weapons came up a few times. People do not like the way they work, and you can't really blame them. They are either really long range for no reason, like a pull Q, or they are terrible like the knife. They're weird. I don't like the way they work, and they're not good, apart from for killing the brain dead zombies. If a player tries to fight another player with melee weapons, they'll just sort of be flailing about for 3 years, and it's terrible. Literally, I tried to do boxing matches and stuff, and it's just a running race at that point, you know what I mean? At number 4, we have NPCs. They are very disappointing. Literally, they just stare at you, some text comes up, there's no voices, they don't move, they're boring, I don't think anyone likes the Unturned NPCs. I don't know. I mean, they were kind of exciting when they first came out and you first meet one and you speak to one because it's new, but apart from that, there's just nothing really to them. I mean, if you're not going to put the work in to make an NPC walk about and stuff, you might as well just not have the NPC, if that makes sense. You could just leave it blank. I don't know. I guess Nelson needed something to give you the mission, and he probably did the best that he could at the time, but if he's going to add something like that in Unturned 2, I don't think people are going to accept it just being text-based, you know what I mean? Like, if they were voiced, that'd be sick. Probably not going to happen, but at least let them walk around just a little bit, make them feel alive, and not like creepy robots that tilt their head to stare at you. I really hate that. At number 3 is hard server setup. People do not like the way you have to make servers in Unturned, including me, especially if I only want to be on a tiny server with like a few people and I want to locally host it. It's a nightmare. Like, why'd I have to port forward my Wi-Fi to do that? Loads of games just let you host like a mini game with one of their servers or whatever. I just want to play with my friends on like a mini server if I want to. And then bigger servers, there should be like much easier way to do it all. I don't know why it has to be so fiddly and weird. Obviously server owners probably quite like the fact that it's a bit more complex because you know, it doesn't mean there's 1,000 servers, but I think competition's good, and I think it'd be quite good if anyone could make a server, because just in general servers would be better after that. I mean, I can't be the only one who's just wanted to do a quick little thing, you know, a server with like 2 people on, we both have admin, I might want to build something, and then I have to get a server set up for me and do all this stuff just to do this little tiny idea. It's annoying, I don't like it, and quite expensive too, server hosting. I don't know why it's so expensive, especially for 24 slots. I just realized I completely skipped number 2 when I first recorded this, so I'm just going to quickly do that now. Jesus, I'm dumb. Anyways, number 2 is cars. I think we can all agree that car physics are, let's just say, not ideal in Unturned. They are, even in my last mod video, the vehicles were like proper jittery, and that's probably not the mod maker, that's probably just the car physics in Unturned in general. Obviously for Unturned 2 this is being fixed, but just cars are terrible in Unturned. They're a nightmare to drive. You have to like handbrake with space all the time to actually get anything done. Like go around the corners, because the cars don't even turn very well around the roads, like the official roads, which is just, it's not very good. I mean, at least we know for sure that the cars are actually really nice in Unturned 2. Like driving around with that blue car in Unturned 2 feels amazing, like leagues ahead. And number 1, we have the big one, the one that most people complain about. A lot of people hate it in 3, and that is optimization. I mean, you have to have a pretty solid PC. I mean, if you can run Unturned at max settings, you can run GTA 5 at max settings, you can run, I was going to say Red Dead, but that's not true. No one can run Red Dead at max settings, let's be real. But you get what I mean. You can run most things if you can run Unturned at max settings. And considering the graphics, I mean, look at that tree up there. It does not look very good. That rock looks like a few polys. This couch isn't even curved. Do you see what I mean? My hair isn't curved either. It's kind of cool looking. It performs okay, but just in general, the game should run a lot better. I'm talking like constantly 300 FPS at least. Luckily, from what Unturned 2's got so far, that game runs beautifully. I might have a clip of it now, I might get lazy, but that game runs so well. It's smooth as butter so far. Obviously, there's no map for me to run around on yet. Hopefully soon, Nelson, if you're watching this. We don't even know what the map's going to be for Unturned 2, but I'm sure it's going to run a whole lot better than Unturned 3, while looking a ton better, because so far I really like the look of 2. But there we go, those were 10 things players don't like in Unturned 3. Obviously, what I think heavily factored into these 10. If you have any different ideas, things you absolutely hate, things you love maybe, comment them down below. I'm really curious what you guys think. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you messing at? You've just watched me read out 10 little things, so you might as well just sub at this point. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.